oh man, this one's hard. Should I do this next? Should I do this next? Maybe I should have tried to get this done while I could. I'm saying this to myself. My husband will probably laugh at me for this one. Hey there friends, welcome to another video. I'm so glad to have you here. Time is something that I'm always just trying to utilize to the best of my ability, and I never feel like I have enough hours in the day to get done what I need to get done, and I'm sure that goes for a lot of people, but the truth is we are stuck with 24 hours, a majority of which we are sleeping. It's really important to just use the time that we're given as well as we can, and that doesn't mean that you can never sit around and relax a little bit, but I think it's really helpful to take a step back and just look at your life and see the areas where perhaps your time could be used a bit more effectively. That's something that I've been doing on myself, and so I thought I would share with you 9 things that I came up with that have helped increase my productivity from day to day. The first one that I've noticed is to be intentional about your time. If I have a plan of action, then this is going to help me be more productive. For me, that looks like writing a to-do list out on a day timer. I really love to plan, and I love to have my lists and things going for me every day. Whatever that looks like for you, just figure out how you are able to be intentional about the time that you're spending and the tasks that you need to get done. And this is going to help you be a lot more productive versus just kind of going about your day, trying to figure it out as you go along, and not really being able to plan what needs to be done when and get it done in the best time during the day. This is especially important for me as I have 2 kiddos, and many things are planned around nap time. So if I have a project that I really need to get done and that really takes a lot of focus, or I need as little distractions as possible, nap time is when I have to get it done. So planning is really important for me and has helped me be far more productive than if I was just kind of winging it. Okay, my next point is to put on a pair of sneakers. So what is putting on a pair of shoes going to do for you? It is going to make you feel ready to tackle the tasks that are ahead of you. It is going to help you be more prepared for the day, and it is just going to mentally put you in a place where you are ready for work. If you don't believe me, try it. I would especially encourage you to put on like sneakers that you can lace up, not just like a pair of flip-flops or something. Put on your shoes, your sneakers. That's going to trigger in your mind it's time to be active and get going, and it's going to help you be more productive. In some respects, this was a personal thing for me as far as how important it was for me to just have my shoes on all the time, and my husband will probably laugh at me for this one if he watches this, because when we first got married, I just, like, my shoes never came off. I hated the feeling of being ill-prepared, and I felt lazy, and I just had trouble lounging around and letting my hair down a little bit. That wasn't necessarily a good thing. It was just something that I realized helped me to just be so much more productive. So I'm not saying that you have to wear your sneakers all the time, but when you are ready to get some stuff done, when you get up in the morning, get dressed, put on a pair of shoes, and get to work. It's gonna help you get going, I promise. The next tip number 3, is to put on some music. Make it fast, peppy. Worship music is my favorite, but I have several playlists that I like to use when I'm ready to get some work done. It really changes the whole atmosphere of the home when I'm getting some chores done. My mom would always put on music when my siblings and I were doing chores when I was a kid, and there are songs to this day that immediately take me back to my childhood and doing chores, and it's a very positive memory to me. And so I love putting on those specific playlists, and then I of course have several of my own that I'll put on. It creates this really fun environment for getting some stuff done and helps us be more productive. Point number 4 is to take care of yourself. Make sure you're eating, make sure you're drinking, because everyone knows if you're not feeling your best, you're not going to be able to be at your best when it comes to productivity. Make sure that you're drinking all the water that you should be drinking in a day. I'm saying this to myself because I am very bad about drinking water, and I've been working on it, and some days are better than others, but it is something that is always a battle for me. I just forget to drink, which is terrible, but I do. And sometimes eating too. Make sure that you're eating well, that you're drinking enough, and that you're taking care of yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Make sure you're not doing too much. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Eat and drink. If you haven't had a drink of water recently, go get yourself some water and something to eat. Point number 5 is to make decisions confidently. I tend to waffle a lot, like what I need to get done. Should I do this next? Should I do this next? Maybe I should have tried to get this done while I could. Should I have done this project? And that not only kind of bogs you down mentally, but it also doesn't help you get more things done because it's harder to move on. At least that's the case for me. It's really important to just be able to make decisions and then don't stress about it. Look back if you need to, rework things as needed, but don't stress about it. Make confident decisions, move forward, and act on the choices that you've made day to day. This is going to help you be more productive in the little things throughout the day, and it's going to help you be more productive as a whole. Point number 6 is one that I have been more recently working on and still needs so much work, and that is to get off your phone. Oh man, this one's hard. It's so easy to access anything these days on your phone. And whenever I get kind of tired or feel like I need a break, just flip out my phone and start scrolling through Facebook, or there's no end to the time that I can waste on my phone. So be very intentional about the time that you spend on your phone. This has been something that has really been helping me. Don't say to yourself, oh, I'm gonna have to cut it out completely, because realistically that's probably gonna be something that's difficult to follow through with. The phone in and of itself isn't evil. It just sucks up so much of our time, and when we're jumping to that at every moment, especially for me with a family, I don't want to be sitting in front of my children with the phone in front of my face. I want to be involved in their lives and engaged in the moments that are happening right in front of me. So just being intentional about the time that I take on my phone. Okay, I'm doing some dishes, I'm gonna pop on my phone and put on a podcast, or I've been working for a long time and now it's time for a break. Basically just making sure that I'm intentional about the time that I spend. It's going to help me recognize how much time I'm spending and just be in more control. I'm not going to be wasting so much time throughout the day on my phone. This also goes for answering texts and phone calls. Make sure you're intentional about when you answer those. I'm not one of the people that gets tons of texts all day, but I know some people who get texted a lot, and you could just be on your phone forever. Be intentional about when you're going to get on and respond to people's texts, but don't let it consume every waking moment of your day. Number 7 also speaks a lot to myself, and that is do not be a perfectionist. This is something that I have struggled with in the past for sure, and I'm definitely kind of being forced to let some of these things go, because when I have 2 kids, I just can't do everything exactly the way that I'd like to get it done, or I'm never going to get anything accomplished, right? So just looking at things in a different way, not getting upset with myself if I can't do it exactly the way that I want to. I'm very particular about how I fold clothes and how I carry out certain tasks and projects, and I have just had to let some of that go and just tell myself it's okay if it's not perfect right now. We're cleaning the bathroom, we're just going to give it a light clean. It's not time to do a deep clean. You don't have to clean the baseboards. You don't have to scrub every little nook and cranny. Right now, we're just getting basics done. And I really have to tell myself that for a lot of things, and just give it time later to do that deep cleaning and that work. But when I'm really getting bogged down with the stuff that I have to get done, I end up being way less productive when I'm trying to just be very perfectionistic about the little tasks that I have to accomplish. If you're that way, let me know in the comments. I want to meet some of my other perfectionists out there and hear from you and what has helped you to manage that and just the day-to-day tasks that we have to get done. Especially as a mom, I feel like that's something that you have to learn to let go as time goes on, but it does not happen overnight, and it's not always easy either. Number 8 on my list is to get rid of stuff. This one may not be a fun one to hear. Maybe it is fun to hear. The more I've gotten rid of stuff, the more I've enjoyed getting rid of clutter. That feeling that the house has after we've gotten rid of more and more, it's just very calm and peaceful and easier to manage. You are going to have trouble being productive if your house is a wreck all the time due to the clutter and the stuff that you've accumulated and that you aren't willing to let go. And I'm not talking about just messes. I'm not talking about just, oh, there's a few toys laying around, or the dishes are piled up, or whatever. Every area of your home probably has something that you can get rid of, some items that you can let go of that will help clear the space. Really trying to be objective about this is difficult sometimes, especially if you're just starting out. I've done a couple declutter videos specifically to do with clothing and wardrobe, and I'll link those below if you want to go check them out. But especially when it just comes to everyday like household items, kitchen items, children's toys, books, paper, whatever. There are so many things that just accumulate way too easily in our homes, and it's really going to bog things down and make it so hard to be productive. Whenever I need to quickly clean something, if there's stuff everywhere, it's really going to be hard to get that done. So my solution is to just have less things that are going to get messy. This way I don't get overwhelmed by my stuff. It's a lot easier to keep a tidy house. It is a lot easier to be productive. Last on my list, number 9, is to learn to say no. This one is definitely something that you may have to take some time and just kind of look in your life, and if you're feeling too overwhelmed and too busy, it's going to be very difficult for you to be productive and be all there for the stuff that you do need to get done, and be able to be available in a way that your family needs and be able to get accomplished what you need to get accomplished. If I'm running around too much throughout the day, it's really hard to get things done because you're in and out of the house a lot, or you just have too much going on that you're trying to manage. Just look at your life, look at the things that you do every week, and what does that look like for you? Are you feeling overwhelmed by that? Are you feeling like you're at a good place? It's really easy to just want to be there for everyone and do things for everyone, or even for ourselves. There's a lot that we want to be doing, or you kind of envision what you should be able to do compared to other people, and that's a hard one for me, and I've kind of recognized this as time has gone on. We're all different, and for me, I get burned out very easily if I do too much. If I'm leaving the house too much throughout the week, it just burns me out so fast. So I am not able, I see some people who are in and out throughout the day, throughout the week, and they're doing things and they're coming back home and they're getting stuff done, and they're really good at that. Like, they've got it down, and that's fine for them. But for me personally, I recognize that I get burned out way more easily. I can't do all the things and feel at my best. Recognize where you would draw the line for yourself, and I'm not just saying to be able to tell others no, be able to tell yourself no. Recognize what's too much for you, and then be able to draw the line where you need to. That is going to really help increase your productivity, because you'll be able to be all there in the areas that are necessary. Alright guys, well that's all I've got for you today. I'm so glad you were able to tag along with me for part of your day. Thank you so much for taking the time, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are interested in receiving more content like this, and the bell button to be notified anytime I post a new video. All the things, they help me out. I really appreciate it. And again, so glad to spend some of my day with you. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.